This video is sponsored by Gate.io. If you set an account up using the link in the description, you'll get 25% back on all your spot and futures fees for life. Gate.io. Hello everybody, I'm back in the home studio. I'm back making videos again. Right, so I think actually, at some point this week, maybe this week, because kids will be at holiday club, and the last stretch of the summer holidays, I might actually try and sort this this studio out and actually try and make myself look a little bit more like a YouTuber. But we'll see. We'll have a look. Right, so it is a bank holiday. So as far as the UK is concerned, nothing's going to go on over here. America don't really seem to care about our bank holidays, and so the markets will continue as usual. Markets don't look particularly bad. I don't know if you noticed, but news have reported that China is going to reduce their tax on stock trading by 50%, which might add a bit of a boost to obviously Chinese stocks and commodities. So we'll be looking and possibly expecting gold to do something at some point somewhere soon, right? And we have got simmering momentum creeping up towards these areas. And this would be the target that we had on last week. Still think that that's pretty much the case. Most moving averages sitting below us, only a couple above us, which unfortunately, are descending. But it's also hitting around that 1930 area. And other than that, gold looks quite good to reach and meet that area. Let's have a look at the euro real quick. Broken down outside of the descending channel, so that's not a normal situation to happen. So yeah, euro not gone to wrecked city, to be honest with you, but it has broken down below that channel. So that's I suppose that's kind of bearish, really, to be fair with you. So forex pairs, not particularly convinced we're going to see anything special with that. Have a look at S&P Futures real quick before we look at Bitcoin. But the main video today is going to be on TOMO. Let's have a think about S&P Futures. Again, there is some form of bounce taking place here. I think it is a dead cat bounce. Maybe we'll see some alleviated move from the news out of China, and obviously the Dixie is now breaking out. Moving up towards its next target, which as far as I can see is going to be a 105.3. So markets generally okay, to be honest with you. It's not too chaotic. A lot of the stocks basically took a bit of a plunge last week as a result of Nvidia finding its peak and then bringing all the AI stocks down. This is one of our old favorite AI stocks that we traded at the beginning of the year, and I got out of this one and moved into commodities. But I mean, I actually, looking at this now, coming down to potentially find a double bottom, it's a risky trade, but the C3 AI could see a bounce around this area, but it's definitely a risky one. 200 exponential held here with the bounce, obviously brought down by Nvidia. Are we going to see a bounce here? And if we are, it will probably be a decent one. If we don't, then we're coming down a fair bit. So tech stocks, as in, well, I suppose tech stocks, AI stocks really is the main drive. Involves Tesla, obviously bringing down the majority of the market, including Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still hanging around that 26,000-ish area, really. And in all fairness, the momentum that's brewing on this daily still does point to a break to the out, even though we're below all major moving averages. Take it to a 4-hourly to see what's going on in the 4-hourly. Again, there's nothing really to write home about. It is pretty lame, to be honest with you. Weak AF, we're sideways to the max. Basically, this $26,000 zone has more or less been where Bitcoin is sat. Look at these pathetic candle bodies. Volume is pretty low. Actually, this is probably the lowest it's been in a very long time. But yeah, volume is very low. So I'm not really looking for anything outside of sideways here. But if I had to base it on what I saw on the daily, yeah, I think there's more upside potential than there is downside potential. But it's a sideways market, and it's a very difficult one to trade. So outside of just all of that, there is one chart which I saw and I was flicking around this morning, which I quite liked. So if we have a look at TOMO actually did a really decent move, 26 all the way up to basically $2.60. So that's a 10xer. awesome. And so since then, that was a slow and steady 10xer too. This wasn't overextended particularly, it's just slow and steady wins the race. And then peaked over here, and now is the first time we've hit a major moving average on the daily, which is 200 simple moving average on the daily. Now this obviously is a chaotic move down from 170 all the way down to basically $1. Quite hardcore, really. There's not really much other than this support that makes it look tempting. However, I have taken a position on this one this morning, and I'm hoping for the best. We can see that this could end up in a rounded bottom. We've got the motor flow index turning up. We also had some bullish divergence brewing over the last, well, we'll call it last, over the weekend really, with a potential death cross retest on the 4-hourly up to like 134. The momentum is quite good on this short-term time frame, but this would be this would be something that would require scaling out. Especially if you're doing a futures trade, you'd definitely think about scaling out on the top of the Bollinger Band to begin with. You wouldn't be really looking to have all these areas up here as your top targets. And also, you know, tight stop losses, definitely tight stop losses around 98 cents or so. So as far as trading is concerned, all markets are a bit difficult at the moment. They haven't quite decided if they are going to pull back or not. The Dixie still has a little bit further to run, and I think that's going to be the case. I think the Dixie moves up a little bit before it pulls back, but then continues with a series of higher highs, higher lows. So an uptrend really, and the stock market might see a decent bounce after the huge pullback that took place with tech, and that just gives a dead cat bounce, and then we'll decide really if it's time to consolidate over a longer period of time for S&P, Nasdaq, and all our favourites, or if we can actually sustain a little bit more of this rally, which I'm not really feeling that we're going to be seeing a sustained rally after this point. I think this is a temporary peak, and what we'll be looking for now is a consolidation generally anyway. But there is several drives of bullish divergence, and what took place over the Thursday and Friday really of last week was a Nvidia driven dump really. So I suppose these sort of incidents do pop markets in the short term, but looks like with what China are trying to do might stabilize the market in the short term and maybe give us a dead cat bounce. Either way, Bitcoin still feeling like the place to trade Bitcoin is through spot. Derivatives obviously aren't going to yield a great deal when you see these sort of moves that just don't exist. And if there are any trades in altcoins, they come with high risk and relatively high return. So yeah, I like TOMO for what it's worth. Like I say, I do have a position in it, but outside of that, the market needs to decide what it wants to do, and that is going to be driven by, I suppose, the next move on the Dixie, which, again, long story short, a little further upside and a pullback from around 105.3, and even that is probably just going to give us another lower high, which is marked off around 28,000 for Bitcoin. Same analysis still applies. A nice big move up and then a consolidation from here. And whether or not we double bottom or go down lower is a different story, but this is still the more likely scenario as far as I'm concerned, rather than going another leg down. But if we did go for another leg down, it's around 24,500, and that's low enough for me to consider a futures position on it, provided we still have the bullish divergence reads given to us on this pretty oversold RSI on the daily. And again, these are the sort of things that are good about having low RSI reads. The lower the price action goes, the more likely it is that we do get a decent bounce from a lower area, which is where, obviously, that's where the big money's made. Right. I'll leave it with you there. I'll start making my my videos on a daily basis, and maybe the production quality on these will raise a touch as well. Also, if you want to join the Patreon, links in the description below. We do 2 live streams a week, which will be going forward as usual, from Tuesdays and Fridays, interactive streams. Other than that, I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.